just listening to the conversation here, I think we're using the word disruption. Disruption is a very, very strong word, right? Because disruption is actually when complete industries go through a change, right? So when you talk about efficiencies in business processes, I look at it that the ecosystems have to collaborate, right? Because there are people who are providing, like what she rightly said, right? So you are keeping a watch for what is actually getting improvised around you in the industry, and how can you create better collaborations for family businesses where you deliver better business outcomes, right? Instead of saying that somebody is coming and disrupting me, I think it is about looking at the opportunity and seeing how can I create better collaborations, right? That is one. And just like what he rightly said, there is one Hindustan Lever, there is one Jyoti Laboratories. Further down, there is another smaller startup, right? Which is actually then saying that can I become what the other two have become, right? And I think that today entrepreneurship within family businesses, they are funded by family businesses. But there is a first generation entrepreneur who is as ambitious as a second generation family member of a family business who is getting the opportunity to raise funding externally. Right? So I don't think there's anything right or wrong in the startups getting funded externally, trying to come and disrupt a business here, or a family office funding it internally. Right? Because I think all of that will come together in terms of creating better economic development. And actually, when I look at Let's Venture, like we have been
built for the previous generation, which the present second generation which we are running in, and the third generation which have already taken over. So their thinking is so different, and because they're all for changes, they are for innovation and things like that. So when we have our weekly meetings, and then this is what we discuss about, and it's very difficult, for the second generation, that is me and my brother, very difficult for them to convince us that this is the next step that we need to take for the changeover. As simple as the ER.
The next generation individuals should be engaged and interested in their own family business.
Okay.
That's how family business thrive, That's how you become you become a Mercedes or whatever.
Right from designing to the delivery of the product, and also, when it comes to empowering employees with day-to-day decision making in order to scale up the business to the level that we want to become, like a global brand, it is very important that we innovate. I think the innovation should start with the thought process. If the minute you start innovation as a thought process and implement it as a culture in the entire organization, that is when you will see grassroots level innovation, right from the peon right up to the CEO, everybody coming and presenting a new idea and how to do this thing better, because it is impossible for the person sitting at the top to actually go into every department and to understand how am I going to innovate and how am I going to make this process better. So I think that is what is the culture of innovation, and the thought process is what we do in our organization. Everybody, innovation is a necessity to survive, not even to succeed but to survive.
So definitely, I think I will be fool here to say that don't innovate, right? So I think innovation is very, very important. Also, what I'm trying to draw a caution: can over innovation be a disaster? Is I think innovating too much, trying to do things differently all the time and where the processes are perfect can also be a recipe for disasters. Yeah? For example,
obviously new buzzwords keep coming in, a lot of innovations which can keep happening and all. What we all miss in all this journey is the disruption which actually happens, because none of it we can plan or say this is the blueprint I have on the road or I put it, which disruption can happen. Because there are all the big guys who doesn't mind losing $1 billion for a new idea and still explore whether it converts, like you've been mentioning some of the conversation. They never had a revenue models, but still sunk in billions of dollars. It just emerged that some revenue model happened on it. But do you have all that wherewithal? Most of us will not, right? So it is basically, where do you take the call? Is it innovation for the sake of innovation is the right thing? I don't think so. Because you don't have to tweak everything just for the sake of innovation, thinking that it will innovate into something different. No. Maybe disruptions is what we need to really look at in the origin, in the sense that, there's a way we have been doing business, but there's a cultural aspects which is really turning the things. Maybe the previous generation, we never even utter a word back to the parents or elders. If they said something, we just listen and go ahead. And today I can't win an argument with my teen son or